Okay, and away we go. Let's get this thing started. Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to a very special edition of the Omega Files, where I'm sure you will reach spiritual enlightenment. No, you won't. Okay, we've gathered to have a little informal session. It's just, there's only so many audios out there in the sea, and we've got a lot of time to kill before December comes around with a Christmas special for this year. So I decided, let's do something creative. Let's exercise our imaginations. Let's come up with, who would you want, or what type of character would you want the new companion to be? Sure, it don't amount to a hill of beans, and Christian all knows I exist, maybe about as much as that boil that's on his back. But, let's have a little fun with it, shall we? Let's get intros from everybody really, really quick. Let's start with William. Say hi there.
Hey now, evening, everybody.
Okay, AJ.
Hello.
Anthony.
How you doing?
Bill.
Hello, hello.
Okay, Matt Rose.
Hello.
All right, Phillip.
Good evening.
Elijah.
Hey.
Let's see here. Ryan.
Hello, everyone. Apologies for eating. I prepared food shortly before and wasn't smart.
All right, and Beefhead.
Yes, kids, it could be you. No, it won't. It won't. I'm telling you, it won't. So give up now.
And Texas Tim.
Hello there.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to keep the floor low. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to each of you and ask, what type of character you would pick for the new companion. And if you have an actor or actress in mind to play them, congratulations, you get a bonus point. Go put a gold star on your little chart next to your thing in your room. Or put it on the fridge. Okay, let's start with, let's go with totally random order. Okay, just so we can get it. Let's go with Phillip. Phillip, what kind of character do you want?
Right, now I was always missed. Back in the day when Peter Davison was in the episode The Awakening, he had an old-time companion called Will Chandler from the Roundhead days. Now I always wanted the Doctor to have a companion like that who could marvel at futuristic things and learn from things. So someone like Will Chandler from The Awakening, I would like as a companion. Hello?
If I remember to unmute myself. All right. All right, let's jump on over to Ryan. Ryan, what kind of companion did you have in mind?
Well, I know what I definitely don't want, and that's another modern-day Earth girl. Ideally, I would like an alien companion. I just think that would be really, really cool. But I would definitely like to also see one who is from the future. I know that it's probably going to not be an alien, but, ideally, I would pick an alien.
All right. Let's go for Beefhead. Go ahead, Beefhead.
It boils down to three things for me. There is going to be a set formula of what you are going to get. I'm sure we'll get onto that later on, but there's pretty much credos that you have to fill in on that. I'm of two thinkings. I would like a historical companion. I'd like it to be a fella, but I don't think I'll get it. I would like it to be not necessarily contemporary, but more recent history. So anything you could probably do early 20th century through to up to the 50s. I think that's you've got a lot of scope there. If I wanted to really put the cat amongst the pigeons, probably have two and have a brother and sister, because it would give you more scope for a bit of intrigue, and it would then take away the idea for pushing for relationships between companions.
Okay. Next up, William.
All right. I had two of them, but not for them to be together. I have a woman one. I got her from the future, and she's like a historian. She don't believe in the Doctor. She thinks of him as a myth, like a legend. So and they team up and they help certain historicals, which she sees as that already happened in history. And she helps him fix it like that certain spot, and she wants to see in her view a great ancient planet called Mondas. So that'll be a good builder for that season with her. With that character. That's the female character. I call her Eve. I just popped that name out of my head. As for the male one, I got him from another. I got none of these are from Earth. I got them from different planets. The male one is from a planet that they're like you could say they're near in our modern time of Vikings and all that. So any argument is dealt with a sword and fighting the way they used to do like that. So like to him, his thing is just food and drink. That's the way he likes to have fun. If he ain't killing, he's eating and maybe picking up a few chicks. But his mind is he's a quick learner. So with the doctor, he learns a lot of other things like the way technology is being built like that, where he travels with the doctor. And then he shows a scroll to the doctor to him it's an old legendary race called the Gallifreyans who supposedly started the Time War. So that's another mystery builder for that season with that character. That's the two I created.
All right. Next up, AJ.
Yeah, mine's not too original. Mine's based more on a real life person. I was going to do H.P. Lovecraft, but the doctor meets him before he started writing, and I thought Jim Parsons would be a good person to play him because he's sort of tall, lanky. He's got the whole look of him, so I thought that'd be a cool idea.
All right, and we just lost Anthony. Next up, Vil.
Oh, I have two of them, and I have to say, and I'll go with the second one first because he just named it. I was going to say H.P. Lovecraft, but my idea for that was that Richard E. Grant should play him. Ooh. Other than that, we had literally the exact same damn idea, so that was awesome. Now, the other person that I would like to see would be Richard Coyle, basically playing a character very similar to Jeff Murdoch.
All right. Next up, Matt Rose.
Hello. I've been thinking about this over the week, and well, first one, I've been thinking quite a while about the Doctor does have an affinity for also robotic companions because we haven't had a K9 for many years. Like K9, but a robot who's his equal, and I'd quite like to see it performed by Miss Beth Chalmers, who's a very versatile actress, and it'd be quite interesting to see how a dynamic female robotic companion would be with him. I'd also like somebody of his own race as well, since Gallifrey's back just after the whole war thing. It'd be nice to see a Time Lord trying to come with him, telling him that he still then understands why he wants to do it, and if
no wonder they talk about the Time War.
Here I could have seen Peter Cushing doing it, but I'd also like to just have somebody of his own kind travelling with him again after Romana. It worked then, it could certainly work again.
All right. Next up, Anthony.
Well, I don't really have an actor or actress in mind. I was thinking more of somebody that would just the wonder and the amazement of the whole time traveling to other worlds, meeting other species. I mean, we've had in the past, in the new series especially, we've had the comic companion. We've had the companion who thought they were the Doctor. We've had a mortal companion. So something younger with a childish mentality of just amazement in seeing the universe, I think would be a nice contrast to Capaldi's gruffness as the Doctor.
All right. Next up, let's go for Texas Tim.
Well, I was going to keep it within the confines of what I thought the BBC would accept. So I'm going to go with a girl in her early to mid 20s, but she's from the future. She is an expert at computers and technology, future technology. And she has total recall. So, for example, when she sees the Doctor operate the TARDIS controls, she automatically knows how to do it just after seeing him do it one time. She's brilliant. She's a bit like a cross between Zoe and Oswin. So she can handle any situation like that. She's very tech savvy. Also, she's got a little bit of ace thrown in, so she's good in a conflict situation. I don't have an actress in mind, but I would go with somebody a bit Indo-Asian, Indian Asian. I mean, I'm all for colorblind casting, but that's one way just to tick a box already. I mean, for the last 10 years, we've had one non-white companion so far. So why not go with a British Indian actress? Somebody like, Mohindra from Sarah Jane or whatever, somebody of that ilk. I also have an idea of how to get rid of her at the, if necessary. Do you want me to hold that over for later, or should I just go ahead?
Oh, go on ahead. Let's hear it.
Well, it depends. You've got three things that could happen. You could have both actors continue with the new producer, which would be great. Or you could have the Doctor regenerate and keep the companion you've got, which would be okay, I guess. I'd go for the first option myself. But or you could have a clean slate when the new producer takes over. So my thinking is that this character would be, like the perfect companion for the Doctor. He gets along with her great. She's very quick. She's very witty, blah, 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 blah. But come to find out by the end of the series that she's not even real. She's a cybernetic, a cyborg, who in the kind of Blade Runner kind of cyborg where you can't tell the difference. And she's been kind of put in his way by one of his enemies. I'm not sure. I wouldn't go with Missy for that one. I wouldn't go for Davros. I'd say probably one of those Time Lords he pissed off or something, to entrap him. And this could, and she's kind of like a sleeper agent, so that, immediately with a twist of a knob, she's no longer the person she's been for the last 12 episodes. She's something else. And yeah, I did steal that from Babylon 5. But I would say that this could lead to the cause of his regeneration. The character would have a built-in out. She would either be killed off or she would move on to whoever her manipulator is, her boss, yeah. And then she might become a recurring villain, but she would no longer be the companion after that series.
I can see that now. Yeah, she has a self-destruct built in.
In other words, she would immediately become a different person and have one goal, which is to destroy the Doctor somehow. So yeah, that way, that would be like a mind deaf to the audience as well, because the Doctor and the audience would think, oh, this is the new girl, blah, blah, blah. Go on through the 12 episodes. She's cool. She's handy. She does all this cool stuff. And then she's not her anymore in the last episode.
All right. I can see that. Okay. Elijah. I'm not hearing you.
You're on mute.
I'm going to go with either a brother or sister duo or twins, doesn't matter what gender, or possibly even robots, but not chameleon. I would have to say maybe a little bit younger, maybe teenage years, or possibly even a historical figure. But that's what I would pick for my companion. So,
yeah, of course, you want to avoid getting too young. Otherwise, you can't have them fall in love.
Brian, there's another person that I thought of just now. Thinking about historical figures. I was thinking about Amelia Earhart, because she's gone missing, so we don't know what happened to her. So maybe the Doctor must have rescued her from a diving ship, a plane, and took her on her journeys, and she was left on another planet after her journeys with him, and that's why we never seen her again.
He Charlotte Pollard's her, huh? I had to say it because Charlotte Pollard came from around back, what was it, 1930?
1930.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
She was right around that time, and I think Amelia Earhart disappeared. I think it was 37, something like that. So
something around there, yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole. If you want to go for historical figures, there's a whole gaggle of them. Like just off the top of my head, you got Amelia Earhart, you got Glenn Miller, you got all those other kinds of guys who just up and disappeared one day. Or better yet, let me really go for the Charlotte Pollard angle. What if we finally go back to the Titanic?
Well, he was there at the Ninth Doctor.
Yeah, but what if he goes back and this time he takes someone with him? Go do there. Now that's another Charlotte Pollard angle you can play with. Plus, you can bring in that James Cameron audience.
Oh no!
Give me those billions, you crazy bastard. Okay. Okay, so let's liven it up, guys. Now, I know some of you didn't have actors or actresses, but we've been hearing names flying around everywhere. Does anyone have an idea who they, other than the folks already named, what kind of actor or actress should see in it? Any names?
Matt Berry.
Matt Berry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
No, he's gonna be the next Doctor.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
What about, because we've never had a ginger on board apart from Donna. So what about Rupert Grint as
Amy?
Amy.
Yeah, you forgot Amy Pond.
that old stuff. Okay.
That's 2 gingers in a row. That's more gingers than you know what to do with.
We're trying to forget Amy.
Okay, what about Rupert Grint, a ginger male traveler?
I'll do you one better, but I think he said he's retired from acting. Let's go for Jack Gleason.
Who's Jack Gleason?
Joffrey.
Oh, no way. No.
You bring in Jack Gleason, but you make him one of them Turlo type of characters.
Yeah, that's cool. Yes. Actually, he could do that. He could do that quite well. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't see him as the happy-go-lucky, give me the key to the TARDIS, Doctor. I'll go wax it for you. No, that's not going to happen. It's more like, I'm going to wait till that old man's gone, then I'm going to steal his time and space machine. Then all of history will be mine to play with.
Well, he can make a good master then.
I'd like it.
Go ahead.
I'd like a companion. I mean, ideally, I don't like, excuse me, complicated story arcs. But I think one where he gets a companion, but then turns out in the future that companion becomes like something happens and becomes like a warlordish kind of dictator type. But like in doing so, they like change their name and all of that. So the Doctor doesn't know that the person is this tyrannical warlord character. And then that could be a really nice arc going forward. The Doctor has to wonder, how does the character become this person? Is he involved in the creation of the person? Or, so he can't bring it up to them. Like if he just ditches them, that could cause them to become this character. But, yeah, something like that could be really cool.
Okay, floor is wide open. Oh, go ahead, Anthony.
Well, what if we go back to the War Doctor episode where Tom Baker said we visit the old faces and we don't have a full-time companion, but we have several story arcs where old companions come back. Susan, Ace, etc.
We could dream, but BBC won't let that happen.
Yeah.
That's true, but, it would just be, it is an open floor, so, it'd just be one of those ideas that'd be interesting. The whole season is companion-free, technically. It's just going to visit the old faces.
Yeah, and if any of you have ever seen that one convention video, then Sophie Alder can still run around like she's hyper. I find Regeneration Con or something like that, Regen Con or something like that. I can't remember what.
Yeah,
One of them.
The most difficult choice would be an alien companion, because we don't know how far would the BBC allow an alien to be realized on TV. And
it's money.
They want to do it, exactly. And you don't want an alien to supersede the Doctor's prowess, if you know what I mean. You don't want the companion to be too over the top. You
have to remember the companion has to be exposition and Doctor. What's this, Doctor? What is happening, and everything like that. I like Tim's idea of having someone that you could turn on a sixpence type thing. The reason I try to either say go for like a singular or go for something that's like a brother or sister is that they have an alliance to each other. So it gives you the opportunity to have something that's like in direct opposition from the Doctor, that if they're forced to make a choice between their sibling or the Doctor. So you have the aspect of where they will go against what he says to serve their own purposes or to save their skin and everything like that. Also, it gives opportunity to question Doctor's motives, because it's going to, they're going to lose out in the end. So I think that's why it would be a good idea to have two, but get away from the relationship minefield that we've had.
Yeah, but the problem with having siblings disappear from their family and travel off to the Doctor, it causes all sorts of like...
No, he can bring them back the same day they left.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
true.
I would say from a point, you can't have young kids. Don't get me wrong, you can't have young kids because it's the idea of the doctors, then it paints the doctor in a negative light because he's putting a young, vulnerable person in danger. And you can't have the character portrayed in that way. But you can have it whereby, like Tim says, and like most of us have sort of to had an idea that it still has to be someone who is of a close, relatable age as well to the audience, because you also have an older doctor, so it's something early, mid-20s, something like that.
That's why I think, like it or not, they're going to continue with a young lady in her early 20s. And I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. They could do something new with it. Like I said, the lady from the future, like Oswin was before she became in her situation that she was in, was a brilliant lady. I mean, she was, what I mentioned Zoe too was because she'd have that quick wit with the doctor and always be trying to like say that, you know, she's a little bit more clever than he is, you know what I mean? Like she wouldn't be amused with his guitar playing. She'd just be like, really? You know, that kind of thing. So that would be something different, because we have had a long run of just contemporary Earth girls, and I think they should try to break out of that mold within what the BBC will accept.
Well, that's the problem. They got all the companions from Earth. We haven't seen one from somewhere else in quite a while. I forgot when the last one was. Probably Leela to me, or Romano 1 and 2.
Turlo was the last one, wasn't he? From different
Earth. Well, he was from a different planet. He was on Earth when he got picked up. So
how long ago that was? So they need it. But the thing is that when we think of visiting another planet, we think of heavy makeup and latex like that. We don't need that for the companion. They just gonna have like maybe a different
off-world colony type thing.
You know, like a color
like
contact.
Journey Blue. Remember, everybody threw her name around for a couple of weeks after that episode. Somebody from that time period, which is in the Earth feature.
Or just simply have them do like a Martian Manhunter kind of deal, where they can.
Well, that was they was gonna do something like that, like disguise themselves. Then might as well bring back that old companion that only existed in audio and books now, Frobisher.
Frobisher, yeah.
Oh, the mesomorph, yeah.
Man, you got a different actor almost every other episode there, right there.
you see, that's what I was hoping they'd do with like Chameleon and all that. You know,
they missed a trick with Chameleon. They could have done that with him.
Yeah, I think Tim brought up that idea first, to be honest with you, but it's a really good idea. I wish they had gone that route, where you could have had a different actor be the companion each episode. You could have him just change shape depending on the situation. It would have become kind of like a MacGuffin though after a while, but at the same time, hell, it's a whole new thing. It's something nobody would expect.
Sure.
Okay, floor is wide open.
The only other actor I'd like to see come in, even I don't know how much they're gonna pay him, will be Idris Elba. Somebody like that, I would like to see him come in. Yes, if he can't come for the whole season, he could do at least a couple of episodes.
I don't think he said he wouldn't do Doctor Who, didn't he?
I'd like to see a cranky old fart to give the Doctor a run for his money.
David
I don't
Bradley.
know. Is the TARDIS wheelchair accessible? Or
There are a lot of you get the right cranky old fart, and the Doctor may need it to be.
Although it's sad that the actress recently passed away, but the librarian from Attack of the Clones.
As the same character.
Not bad.
Okay, so anyone else?
I'm trying to remember an actress that'd be good to play. I'm tired of the even though the BBC one of these 20-something ladies, I don't mind seeing somebody like in the 30s and 40s, man.
I think you have to set. I think you have to set an upper limit, though. I think in sort of mid 30s, because you have to. It's got to be a female, because you have to, make it balance and relate for kids.
I got one for you, Beef. That you tell me if you agree or disagree. Chase Matheson.
Oh no!
Why? No, she'd actually be quite good, but at the end of the day, you'd be going, okay, she'd be the new American companion, actually.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, I don't think. But I mean,
but remember, we don't know if the new season when it starts next year, if one he's gonna have a companion at all, and two, would this companion go into the Chibnall run or just end?
That's a good question. That's why.
That's the question right there. That's like I don't mind mentioning an actress like Chase Madison. She could do one season because you would know that she was a busy woman, so she could do a season of Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Anthony says he has an idea.
Okay, somebody mentioned the old librarian lady. What about Dame Megan Smith for one season?
Ooh.
I mean, she has got all the acting chops in the world to play anything from happy and goofy to cranky old woman, such as he did.
Not what they would want, though.
There'd be a distinct lack of running, though, sadly.
I don't want to see her in a skirt.
Yeah, there'd be a scooter. There'd be a scooter involved, wouldn't there? A companion with a mobility scooter. Yeah.
The thing is, if you're familiar with Big Finish, there's a very good companion for the Sixth Doctor, played by Maggie Stables, Evelyn, and she was awesome, and it's perfect for the Sixth Doctor. I mean, it suits him well to have that older lady hanging out with him and always trying to keep him in check. He's got a big ego, but I mean. At the end of the day, as good as that sounds on paper, I don't think the BBC would go for it for the TV series. They want to have the chick on the poster.
That's it.
I don't see why we have to have a chick on the poster type companion. I mean, people are getting bored of the same old template. We need something to go outside the box a little bit.
We need a porn star.
How about Ivy Doom Kitty?
Oh, better yet, we need an experienced former porn star. Let's go with Tracy Lords.
I gotta have to agree with that because she is former and she has done TV shows and science fiction movies, so she could do that.
And she did establish an acting career for many years outside of the porn industry when she left.
And the Doctor has had characters that were supposed to be American before with him. Remember Perry? Well, now they actually have an American playing an American, which is a good idea. Just like, Americans shouldn't play English people because we're doing it.
I could just picture a scene where the Doctor's sitting down and it's kind of like a job interview. He's just asking people to come in and audition to be the companion.
They've done that with the Big Finish, Situation Bacon.
Yeah. That thing is, I could totally see Peter Capaldi doing that. Like his Doctor. I could see that.
Yeah, I would rather they just went and did something completely unusual or something that we've seen before in the specials year, where he just has a different person hanging out with every story. And they're not a companion per se because they're not a series regular, but that's the person he relates to in the episode. They run around with him, they help him out or he helps them out, and that's it. At the end of the story, he says, "Hey, you want to go for a ride?" They're like, "Nah, I'm not bothered." So, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, in other words, you have a series where there's no main companion. I know they would never go for that either. Like I said, they want the girl on the poster.
What about a companion who's got a price on his head, a stowaway? And throughout the season, this stowaway had to avoid the people that's after them. And the Doctor, sort of doesn't realise that.
Well, again, we had that with Big Finish when the headhunter was after Lucy Miller.
Yeah, like that kind of thing. That kind of that situation. Yeah.
How about Boba Fett?
Nah, because then you're talking some major licensing issues.
Deadpool. There we go.
Same company that owns Star Wars is going to deal with them.
I would like someone with a militaristic background, to be honest with you, because it would fly in the face of the sort of peacemaker aspect.
Well, there you go, Deadpool.
And that's it. It's a case of then you have to have character development so that they would go from an aggression point of view to one of understanding, and then just nice and fuzzy and cuddly by the end of it. But something like that, something that's going to be opposite to the Doctor. I think that's what you need to have.
Okay, well, expanding on that idea and something that someone mentioned previously, why not have it be an ex-soldier, cybernetic implants, who's basically slowly dying and has to basically keep fixing himself, and have him be from pre-Cyber Mondas?
Ah, see? Mondas again.
That would be an interesting twist, yeah.
The Doctor accidentally causes the Cybermen to save his life.
Also, we know that, the Doctor doesn't like a mystery, and, he knows that somewhere out there's Clara, so you gotta, Is that going to play into
Oh.
something?
No,
Oh, no, we're Clark. Get out.
Clara got nothing to do with this. No more.
No, not. I don't mean the character Clara, but we know the Doctor knows who. Well, he has distinct memories.
You've got more chance of Elvis faking his death and showing up as the next companion.
Her story's done. It's done.
Yeah, her story's
we
done,
need a
but the
companion
Doctor,
that'll-
it's a loose thread for the Doctor. He
Not
doesn't
really.
like loose
Not
threads.
really. He forgot her, and now he's gonna continue his own thing. He didn't mention her at all in the Christmas special. But that's what it's gonna be.
Okay, Clara represents the Doctor's fall to the dark side of the farce. It's gone. Let's just forget that she existed.
Yeah, we need a companion that'll get that bad taste out of our mouth for the last 2-3 years. So
Also, I
yourself, bro.
also I think given the final scene of Hellbent, where he sees that saying on the blackboard, and then he gets the new sonic screwdriver, he puts his jacket back on, he's ready to move on, and I think that's the message they wanted to convey with that. So
Yeah,
Clara's
it's done.
yeah, sure, she had the check of the dumbass and wound up being a frickin' time lady immortal with her own TARDIS, but we'll forgive them for that.
Yeah, that's it. I think you have to bear in mind all the criticisms and everything like that there were, is that she's a Mary Sue, Uber companion and everything like that. You have to have something with a sense of wonder to it. So that's what makes me think, a past companion, because it's easier to do. Yeah, you could have it with Will's idea of a librarian from the future. So they're strictly stuck in their rigid idea of academia, and perhaps they're good with tech books and everything like that, but don't deal so well with people. But you have that already with the Doctor. But you definitely need someone that can have the sense of wonderment and not understanding, so they can be the heart aspect, but still be the exposition motivator. So it's Doctor, what is happening and what do you do?
The problem is, though, I would say, is going into this upcoming series, the question is it just a one-off companion for that series, or are they going to continue? And that's something they'll have to work out between.
Yeah.
It also probably depends on whether or not they're going to have Capaldi carryover, which is what everybody I know wants. But I mean, this is the BBC. Everybody except Phil. But the question is, though, how do you make an interesting arc for a companion that's only going to be around for 12 to 13 episodes? So, I mean, that's what you have to do.
You don't want a companion that's been like Clara, Mrs. Know It All, most important person in the world. I don't want that again. I just want a plain, simple companion with no.
That's not the way I saw her.
Well, that's how she was.
Well, here's the thing.
You can say that with any of the historical, like people like Zoe to a certain degree. Or anything like that. You have to, if you have ones that are on a mental par with the Doctor, then you are losing that element to it.
Yeah,
he has to be the problem solver. He has to be the man with the plan.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Doctor Who fans, they're crazy about everything. And the one thing is, you ask for more development with the character, you get it, you complain. So, Doctor Who fans, you never win with anything.
No. Doctor Who fans aren't crazy, and we'll wear your skin for suggesting otherwise.
And if we don't like your companion, we'll cut off its face and wear that too. Yeah.
But that is a question I have been pondering. Now, let's run over the scoreboard real quick. She has been through the Doctor's entire time frame. She's seen every other single Doctor. She's averted the Time War. She's wound up in her own TARDIS, immortal. And what? All right, now I'm just summing up.
I'm disbelieving this.
Now, but here's the question I'm summing up to. I'm getting to. Do you think Clara set the bar too high?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you kidding? She lowered the bar. She was terrible. I mean, I'm sorry. I could use a gnat and it would be a step up.
No, I don't think so, because I mean that was a character arc that was developed over a long period of time, and it had several unexpected hurdles to jump over. The whole business of the 50th anniversary that we've come to find out later had all kinds of things that wouldn't be done or couldn't be done, and
I agree with Tim on that. She wasn't really a character for a very long time. She was a function. So she was.
I would say she was a character to a certain extent, but she was basically an outline. And since they made her mystery girl for the first series that she was in, they couldn't really do much with her. The writers didn't know what to do with her because they were like, okay, because they don't want to know what the mystery is. Mystery gets resolved. Then it's on to the 50th anniversary. Then we have a switch of doctors. So the main thing is to set up something with her and the new guy, which I think actually worked a lot better because, I mean, the actors have great chemistry together, Capaldi and Coleman, and it was a better arc for her. It was a better arc for her in Series 8 and in Series 9, I think.
Well, the only mistake they did was they should have kept the Victorian Clara.
Exactly. Yeah, agree.
I would agree with that.
Anthony's
you want to set the bar for a companion. The companions that set the bar were companions like Jamie McCrimmon. I can't even think of Clara as setting the bar. She was terrible.
Again, that was an accidental thing where they liked the actor and they said, "You want to join the crew?" The doctor already had 2 companions, and it was also kind of an accident that he stuck around for 3 years because they just.
Anthony's had his hand up for.
All right.
He's been jumping for like 5 minutes.
Everybody makes good points about Clara and stuff, but you know what was really the only thing that they didn't do with Clara was the same thing they wanted to do with Ace back with that long dead flame on producer was take her and make her a time lady in Gallifrey. I mean,
that would have been too much for me.
He went from a nobody to basically being better than the Doctor, and to me that was absurd. You know, you don't need to be on par to the Doctor or surpass him. You need that sense of wonder. Donna brought that wonder for a long time, and then they had that meta-crisis thing, and then it went away again. But, not for a whole season where, hell, even one episode, she actually said, "Oh, look, I'm the Doctor." I mean, it got ridiculous. Now she's got a TARDIS. She's with another immortal. She's technically an undead or going to die corpse thing, running around the universe making, trouble. It's just
but that was an exit. That was an exit. You'll never see her again.
But think about it. Think about it this way.
Who knows? Moffat's got the rest of the series to run. He may bring her ass back or just.
She's busy filming. She's busy.
Yeah.
Actually, we have already seen evidence of what a crazed Clara running around with her own TARDIS has done. How do you think we got that atrocity called Keeping Up with the Kardashians?
Okay, Elijah was trying to make a point here.
I was going to say, I know you brought this up a while back, but what if Clara's taken the TARDIS back to Gallifrey and says to the first Doctor, "Here, take this one, it has some issues."
That would give me a headache just trying to
I can't get a decent cup of coffee out of this,
I just really hope that's not the direction he was leaning in, but you never know.
It's there if you want to see it that way. It's there if you don't. So I mean, it's you know what I mean. It's cool. It's a cool way to end the character, I thought.
Yeah.
It's just the problem is that when you have a companion in something like the 50th and the way it's structured, you're going to attract that flack to that companion, whatever they do thereafter. And that's the thing. Maybe it would have been better to just have not had a companion aspect to the 50th.
But she was barely in the 50th. I mean, everybody was paying attention to the 3 Doctors.
I know, but the criticism that everyone makes about, she's uber and everything like that, and too much weight over the Doctor and everything like that.
Really, all she did was just, shed a tear and tell him, "You don't do that." That's it.
I know, but
that's not a big deal. Any companion he had with him at that time, whether it be Amy, Donna, or Rose or Martha or any of them, would have told him the same exact thing. That she was.
I think that's the problem. That's the problem. It's not that I have a problem with her as such. I feel it was handled badly because like you said, she was a mystery girl. She was a plot device.
No, that was done by then, though.
Yeah, that's it. But then in the 50th, in essence, she was a plot device and everything like that. Like you said, the last 2 seasons we've had with her were the best things because they actually made her a rounded character on her own.
Really? My point is, in the 50th, though, any companion that happened to be there in the 50th would have done the same exact thing. You don't do that.
Yeah.
You don't do that. You don't kill people like that. And that was the whole point. Other than that, she just tagged along. I mean, it could have been any companion.
Well, Why would you need a companion to tell the doctor you don't do that? I'm surely he's clever enough and brainy enough to say.
It's not that she was more intelligent than him. They were all caught up in their business, and they agreed that they were going to help out their former self, whom they disliked, and go ahead and go through with the deed, help him not be alone doing it. And she was the one that said, "You know what? You don't do that." And I'll tell you what, had that even been Grace from the movie, she would have done the same exact thing, even though she'd only known him for a few minutes. You know, I mean, anybody that spent any time with a doctor would have told him, "What the hell do you think you're doing? You don't do that." So it's not that it was Clara that did that. It was just the companion that happened to be around.
Mm-hmm. And as far as ending Clara, I think that we almost had that perfect ending for her. Unfortunately, it turned out to be a teleport with the Master.
Like, it's been shown countless times that you can have a great companion that actually means something, but not give them a whole plot device that keeps them running kind of deal. Like Jamie McCrimmon, like Sarah Jane Smith, like Donna Noble. You know, you can just have a simple character who, you know, who can just be there as a friend for the Doctor without having to have this whole thing going on with them.
I know. Besides, I don't know if how many of you have seen this, but there was an alternative ending of Face the Raven.
Was there?
Yeah. Didn't you hear about that? I have a clip of it right here.
Oh, let's have a look at this.
Okay, that's enough for Clara. But let's
still
look at some of the other companions we've had in the new series. You had Rose Tyler. You know, did she get to Uber really?
She didn't get Uber. She got annoying. Mm.
Yeah, she got sickening. She got kind of sickening to.
I love you. Okay.
Yuck! I hate that.
And then you had.
Yeah, but sadly, coming out of the time where the Doctor needed something like that, if he would have had something like Clara, he'd have probably, you know, nuked how many planets because of her driving him crazy. He needed that Rose character to pull him back from the brink of insanity, I think, you know. And then he you know, she did get a one of the better endings, you know, in my opinion, for a companion.
All right. Then, of course, you went on to Martha.
She was poorly served.
It was more of like, rebound girl, you know.
Yeah, pretty much.
I felt what if she comes back to do a couple more big finish? That would be cool.
Yeah, she was underused, I think, and she even said, you know, I think almost word for word, she said, you know, I don't want to be the rebound girl. I'm getting off. You know,
I was a bigger fan of Martha in the 3 episodes she showed up in season 4 than I was of her entirely in the. I mean, probably the best she got in the 3rd season was in Human Nature, when she basically had to, you know, look after the Doctor and like step up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she brought that sense of wonder to almost every episode that something new happened. You know, that was quite refreshing.
Then we went on to Donna.
My favorite. I wish we kept her.
We are. Oh. She's coming back in Big Finish.
Yeah, I know, but I'd like to see her again on TV, back on TV again with the Doctor, man. I'd like him to come back to her at some point and sort of like.
Which kind of brings us to the.
I can see her bringing. You know, she runs into the Doctor and he goes, "Oh, I'm the Doctor," and she goes, "Well, hold on, you know, Mr. Capaldi, let me go in here," and she brings out of a Hair Club for Men, you know, dye kit. You know, that's what she would bring, you know, back to this new Doctor. She wouldn't know what the hell to do.
And how many people were here remember Christina D'Souza?
Oh, yes. Michelle Ryan. I was going to mention her earlier.
Oh, yeah, the cook, yeah.
She would be nice to come back to.
Okay. And then, of course, he croaked, became Matt Smith. We got Amy Pond.
No, I had enough of her. See you later.
She's busy doing the movies now.
No, but I'm just saying, look at the various different types we've had in the new series. To me,
True.
I like Martha's, like I said, even though I didn't really get into Martha because of the whole rebound girl storyline, at the same time, she walked off on her own. She didn't, she didn't get 2 Ubers. She was just there. She did the job. She put shit together, and boom, she said, "That's it. I'm done. Bye." It wasn't. I didn't get zonked back in time. I didn't have my mind erased.
What was quite good as well with her that I did like about her was that her personal life really wasn't an issue. She was a doctor in training, so she a young professional. She had her life in order. She knew what she wanted to do.
Yeah,
and it got to that point of that it's sort of like, yeah, I can walk away. I don't need this anymore. I've got my own life to live. Now, whatever happened with the character afterwards, then that's something else. But if you wanted to put it as you want to make as well the companion to be a role model, then you can't really fault Martha as a companion.
No.
Yeah.
No, she definitely did the I'm going to stand up for myself, not take any crap, and I'm not going to be that rebound girl. She did play a very good role model for young women in that situation, kind of thing. So if you want to look at it that way, and throughout the little hints later on, she had a really good story arc. Where she joined UNIT and fought in some wars and all that stuff, became a bounty hunter kind of thing. So yeah, it was kind of I personally would have liked to see her more, but it made sense. She was the rebound girl, so just bounce her pretty quickly.
Well, if I could say one thing, I think it's good that Catherine Tate did come back, because the character he was in the process of creating before they found out that she was willing to do another year, a full year, was somebody else that was on a rebound from another relationship, some girl named Penny, who was a chain smoker. And this is all according to Russ T. Davies' book, but all that went out the window whenever Catherine Tate said she would be happy to do a year, which is a good thing. I think otherwise you'd have had another year of maybe downer doctor and downer companion, just kind of like moping around on the rebound or whatever. Instead, what we got was a couple of friends having a great time for a year. So that was cool.
Yeah. I think that a chain smoker in the TARDIS wouldn't be a big deal. There's always smoke in the freaking TARDIS. Who would know?
Plus, now we know the Extractor fans work.
It might actually smell better.
Okay, so love them, what you call it. All we can do is this. We can just speculate at this point. I figured, let's get together. We can have a little fun. What is your idea of a companion and all that? And, we've gotten some pretty good ideas, some pretty good well-rounders. And also we've looked back a little bit on who was in there before. Plus we also have to face the fact, what if, given the fact that I think the demographic they said they're having the trouble with is ladies between a certain age, we may wind up with a male companion. It could happen.
Good.
It could happen.
Good. Yeah.
We should have a male companion who is a hippie, a lot like Shaggy, and just before the Dalek shoots me, he takes a big fat bong rip.
I think it would be good to get a companion who, is Scottish like the Doctor, and who better than Graham.
No more Scottish. No more Scottish, man.
Who better than Graham?
Make the companion a German, for Christ's sake.
No Scots. We don't need them pissing in the TARDIS.
Well, we're gonna have a male. Let's have one that's like a crook, like a Big Finish Thomas Brewster, who just goes in the TARDIS and rip it apart and sell it.
Could I ask a question though about what you just said? Are you saying that the demographic that they were trying to build up on with the whole Rose and then Martha rebound thing, they've lost that recently, or?
I think they said the reason for the ratings drop in Series 9 had something to do with ladies, I think 25 to 49.
Oh, it was Claire's fault.
So, I don't know. But like I said, given the formula, I think it's like maybe a 20% chance you're going to see a male companion. Like, I think they're going to stick with the established formula. Get another hottie in there to bring the old guys in who don't want to, let's see, we can watch in between commercials on football,
Well, I've been more inclined to think that it was sadly because they don't have a young guy playing the Doc anymore, which is sad if that's the case. I mean, I would have thought they would have stuck with it as well.
Yeah.
What about an Asian character, someone from a different continent rather than
Why
British?
not? Well,
A Japanese whaler.
Asian, Black, Indian, Irish, Welsh. I don't care who they are. As long as they represent and do the good job, I don't care what nationality they are. It's all equal to me. So
Yeah. Why not bring in Stephen Price as the next companion?
Oh,
I don't care.
No, I couldn't stand the cream cakes parts of it. I'm sorry.
I don't care if they bring in a guy with a set of bongos and a spear. They just as long as he does the job and gets the show moving, I'll stick with you.
A set of bongos and a spear. How could you?
I know. I'm just saying it could be any continent.
For the role.
Yeah, look, he saved some young guy from a Mayan sacrifice on top of pyramid and everything like that. And then
Well, if you're going to do that, you might as well just go back and pick up Himmler. Have him run around the TARDIS for a while. That would give him he gets to, do his, explain the history where he got all his ideas from the Daleks, exterminate. So,
Well, the Daleks got it from Himmler.
Yeah, that'd be, it would still be one of those story arcs that would be disturbing to watch, but,
it would certainly take Bootstrap to a different level.
It definitely would. Well, we've circled around and around, and like I said, there's nothing to rate this week, and we could go on for decades. I just want to thank everybody for participating. I heard a lot of good ideas, a lot of great concepts, and like I said, I just did this as a pet project so we can do something a little different. Get away from the norm. I like to do that every now and then.
We should put in a companion.
Yeah.
Who basically is a doctor obsessive who's followed stories on the internet.
No.
And who does podcasts all day long about the Doctor.
No.
Hey, if it's internet based, it might as well just be a cat.
Yeah. Grumpy cat.
Then he'd have to take time away from doing a podcast.
Oh, Donald Trump. There you go. There's the next one.
Okay.
Well, we got one that she's not here. No, hold on. Let me finish it. We had we had one that had her idea was just sit in the TARDIS and be knitting all day. So she wanted to do, but Lady Nee was not here to give that idea.
Oh,
that's all she wanted.
Stand up for like 5 minutes. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, sorry. How about a red dwarf crossover? Have Lister as the companion for the Doctor.
That never worked.
Oh boy!
I just thought just then.
Okay, so like I said, I just wanted to get everybody together so we can do something a little different. And like I said, we don't have anything to rate. So before we go into bye-bye mode, let's have a little talk about something we're talking about next week. Anyone guess what it is?
no.
Movie.
Deadpool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now's not a good time. Now's not a good time to tell everyone about how Deadpool died at the end.
No.
We all saw it already.
Yeah, but it was, I wasn't impressed with the movie.
Save it for next week. Save it for next week.
Save it for next week. See for the
I'll definitely be the hater next week for it. So that's what I tend to do best.
You see, I like to have varying opinions, though, because if everybody's saying the same thing, it's boring as hell.
Yeah. Well, I tend to take that darker road most of the time.
Yeah, that's why we pick on Phillip all the time.
Yeah, you do, you bastard.
Okay, well, until next week, everybody, enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Support your local demographic.
Bye.
Yeah.